just recently there was an interview with Good Vibe Gaming and Takeshi Iizuka, and one of the last questions they asked him was whether or not they were going to get a Sonic RPG, to which Takeshi Iizuka did say that he does express some interest in this upcoming Sonic RPG. They don't have any plans at this moment in time, but they're thinking about it. And for today, I decided to bring on someone that knows a lot about Sega. I'm not too sure about Sonic, but introduce yourself, my good man.
Hey, this is Dukey03. I'm a big Sega guy and a big Sonic guy, or I guess sometimes a big Sonic guy. It depends on the quality of the game.
Yeah, I know for a long time Sonic fan like myself, well, more so during the GameCube days with Sonic Adventure 2.
Right.
I know when games go up and down all over the place when it comes down to the quality.
I'm like one of the few people who really likes, well, I shouldn't say really likes this one, but I actually enjoy, Sonic R. I'm probably the only person in the world that likes Sonic R. And then I don't mind Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, actually. In fact, if you just ignore all the objectives and just play it as if it's a regular 3D Sonic game, it's actually not that bad of a game. You just don't have to care about the story. As long as you don't care about the story, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually messed around with that a while back. I haven't beat it, but I do want to play through that and actually beat it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever beaten it either, but I played a good the vast majority of the game, I think.
Yeah. But anyways, let's actually get back on the topic, talking about this upcoming Sonic RPG, well, this potential Sonic RPG. Starting with, what exactly will we want the RPG to be? Do we want it to be an action RPG or a turn-based RPG? I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, but I'm going to let Dukey go first.
So, I'm not a big action RPG guy. The closest thing to action RPG, and I don't think this is even action RPG, would be the Xenoblade Chronicles games, and that's not, I don't know if that even counts as action RPG. I would want it turn-based. I would want it, I think, kind of similar to what we got for Super Mario RPG or something like that, where you can have button inputs to power up moves, say one of Sonic's earliest attacks or skills or something could be like a spin dash attack, so you have to mash the X button as fast as you can to power that up before he does his spin dash into the enemy and stuff like that. I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of sounds very similar to what they did with Yakuza Like a Dragon, because there are some things that you have to do to mash your and do all those special attacks.
That's true.
Yeah, so definitely would be very similar to Like a Dragon, and if they have RGG Studio to work on the Sonic RPG, that'd probably be perfect right there.
I think for me, either RGG or honestly Atlas. Sega owns Atlas now. It's it'd be the perfect time to get them to do something.
Yeah, I'll get to that later in terms of what I think who should be developing this. But yeah, it goes two ways for me. If they do turn-based, then I think they should get RGG Studios or Atlas to work on this game. Make it to be pretty similar to the Mario RPGs. I would think it would be more in line with the Like a Dragon games in a sense.
I think they could make it because I've never played a Persona game, but just watching Persona 5 gameplay, and even I played Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon or whatever, and it's kind of combat too. It's very it's kind of it's turn based, but it's kind of dynamic, right? And then with the Persona, I think because Sonic, the two biggest things when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog games in general is speed and style, and I think the how flashy and awesome the command menu or the battle menu looks in Persona 5, you could get those guys making a really cool looking, flashy looking battle system.
Very stylish in a sense. Absolutely. But yeah, follow me on this actually, because I know you said you're not into the action RPGs. If they ever do go with the action RPG route, the developer I have in mind that would work on that would be Nihon Falcom. They work on the Yeast games, and those games are action RPGs. And I always kind of felt that Nihon Falcom could have made a really damn good Sonic game, like a Sonic RPG. Just the style of games they make, how fast-paced their games are, typically with the Yeast games, and now recently with Trails Through Daybreak. I do think they can find the right style for Sonic and try to make this competent action RPG. If they ever do decide, oh, let's do the action route rather than the turn-based route.
The only Ys games I played was like the first two, so with like the bump mechanics and stuff. So I don't even know like what it feels like and stuff really. The newer stuff.
Yeah, Ys 8 definitely is what comes to my mind, and that feels very quick, very arcadey.
And
good. Sonic typically does feel relatively arcadey for the most part for his games. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about exactly what kind of mechanics we would see in the Sonic games, and you brought up how Atlus can make this relatively stylish Sonic game. And typically with the later Sonic games, they've added in rankings of how well you do in a stage. I think you can put in rankings into battles, and anytime you win a battle, based on how quick you are, how many styles you take, depending what kind of battle system they have with the turn-based style, you can be ranked with every single battle that you go through in any battle.
Yeah, you could have it so like if you get like S rank in a battle, you get more gold or more EXP or whatever too. That would be cool.
Exactly. That's
a good idea.
Yeah.
I guess they'd use rings as currency, because why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get rings, you get the EXP. And I think when it comes down to skills, this is probably where you can introduce like a skill tree system, probably similar to something like Dragon Quest 8 or Dragon Quest 11. And you can try to add extra things like you said, the spin dash, the homing attack, light speed dash, or with your party members, you can give Tails gadgets to use. Amy was her hammer, Shadow was chaos control.
Should definitely have it so there's like double team moves too, and then like some characters, just like Chrono Trigger, like some characters have it more with like specific characters. So like Sonic and Tails obviously would have like a lot of double teams. You could have like Knuckles and Sonic. Do Knuckles and Shadow, because they're like essentially the same kind of idea of a character. Like they're very similar kind of in their like rival turned anti-hero kind of thing.
And depending on the pair up, like you get different results with each pair up that you do with the double attack or the triple attack.
Yeah, Knuckles and Rouge. That would be a good one too.
Which leads me to my next question is, obviously with some RPGs you have it with a 4-party system, some of them with a 3-party system. Would you rather it be a 3-party system or a 4-party system?
I think a 3-party for something like this.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, because like especially if you're doing like dual techs and triple techs, because you can't. It's kind of you have too much. It makes it too easy almost if you got 4 players and you can do that.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention as far as like skills and stuff is take the. So I like your idea, like have like the skills be that way, but also add in like in Suikoden. You get like the ruins, but that would be like as you progress the story, you get a Chaos Emerald, and you can select what character you want to have that Chaos Emerald, and then they get a specific ability. I think that would be really cool too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the only reason I bring up the 3-party system is because one of the Sonic games, Sonic Heroes, you have the 3-way system with Sonic Heroes Knuckles, Amy, Cream, Big, Shadow, Rouge, Omega, so on and so forth.
Chaotix.
So that's kind of like a way to reference one of the Sonic games. And how throughout Sonic's history, you primarily have 3 people working together in a sense.
Would you want to see, like I always fall into this, like I'm a big Mega Man fan as well, and I always fall into this like whole, I don't want it to be Wily this time. So would you want to see like a new villain? Like Robotnik obviously show up in the story, but he's not the big bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly just a side note, because I'm gonna call him Eggman because that's what I grew up.
How old are you?
I'm like 28.
Oh, okay. You're not. You're like. Oh wait, no, you are. You're like 10 years younger than me.
but yeah, like I said, I grew up on the GameCube. Sonic Adventure 2 was my first Sonic game.
Oh, okay.
All that fun stuff. But anyways, in terms of the villain, that's kind of a tough one right there, because even the mainline Sonic games, sometimes you don't even fight Eggman in the later games.
Yeah, that's true. Well, even Sonic Adventure 2, right? It was like the big salamander thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think you can go either or. You can have Eggman be a villain, try to do a more typical Sonic story, just a little bit more longer because it's an RPG, of course. Or you can do something different, try to introduce a new villain that's probably different from the stuff we see in Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06. But obviously, Sonic has done so many different things.
Yeah.
That how can you make it different in a sense?
I think what you do is like the classic. Robotnik has this plan, and then what he creates is too powerful for him to contain, kind of thing. And then like at like the 3/4 point of the game, that's when that happens. And then this thing's like out of control, and then that way you could have Eggman in the party too, right? I think that would be
absolutely.
nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would also, because like, so I guess Sonic does have like quite a rogues gallery at this point. Like he's got quite a few. Like there's a crap ton of badniks, right? But I think what you do is you bring in like all the classic like villains and stuff. Like you have like Metal Sonic. You have what were those guys called in Sonic Lost World? Like the Deadly Six or something?
Yeah, the Deadly Six.
Yeah, like you have all of them just to add like boss fights and stuff. I think that'd be cool.
Speaking of bosses, like it'd be cool if they added in like some you can go on fight, kind of akin to like how some of the Final Fantasy games have these ultra secret bosses.
Yeah, like super bosses.
Yeah, and maybe you can add in something like Ichiban as a boss that you can fight, because RPG right there. Or you add in Persona Cast into the game.
Oh
like
yeah,
Joker.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a nice little nod, because those are RPG characters in a sense.
Or even just have them as like a cameo, because like there's always like a beach themed level or something, and you could have like Ichiban on vacation there, just even as like an NPC showing up in like the town.
Legit.
Sega owns so much now, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy to think of, because I know you grew up on like the GameCube and stuff, but I grew up on like the NES, and then the Genesis was like when I got hooked with Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles is still like arguably the best Sonic game. Like to me, it's like between that and Sonic Mania. And then like all of a sudden like Sega died, right? And like pictured like you're this kid, and this is like your favorite franchise at this time, right? And the company dies. To be that kid, if I go back and tell that kid, hey, Sega not only is like pumping out games left, right, and center still, they also like own these like very large and popular like JRPG developers and stuff like that. So it's just something I never could have believed as a kid when I saw like the fall of Sega.
Yeah, definitely. Like from your perspective, like damn, they fell apart with the Dreamcast, and then years later they bounced back. They were able to buy Atlas, and now they even own Angry Birds on top of that.
Exactly. Well, they'd be like, I can't think of any. I keep going back to like old ass things. I was gonna say it'd be like if the TurboGrafx came back, like the guys like I think it's Hudson or whatever came back.
Yeah.
But it's like that's before your time too. I'm too damn old.
I'm actually a pretty big Bomberman fan back in the day.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, and with Hudson stuff, I was into like Mario Party. They developed that back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know Hudson did that.
Yeah, they did. Like, I know we're going off topic, but still, it's like all the stuff that you see, in a way, almost the old's becoming new in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's nice to see companies come back like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the final thing I want to talk about with this Sonic RPG, hypothetically, is what kind of art style do we want to see? Do we want it to be pixel-based, or do we want it to be more 3D-based, or in the middle with the HD 2D look?
So initially I was thinking like sprite-based, like perfectly like all sprite-based, the whole game kind of thing. But then like, I don't know, I think it could look really cool like if you had it in 3D. If you did it right. You could do it cel-shaded or something. Nobody really does that anymore lately.
Yeah, like kind of have it in the style of that Mario and Luigi game that's coming out later this November. Like that would actually be pretty interesting for an upcoming Sonic game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am very much either or in this situation. Like I'm fine. I'm fine with pixel based. I'm fine with 3D. I think with 3D you can get away with some more interesting things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, whatever they come up with this Sonic RPG, hypothetically, of course, because Izuka did say we're not entirely sure if it's in the books just yet.
Well, they did that. What was it? Sonic Brotherhood Chronicles or something like that.
Yeah, and that game.
I've never played it, but I've heard it was awful.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
I don't want to talk about it. Not bad, eh?
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, you're a fan of Sonic 3. Like, if you listen to the music in that,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be just asking names of who the hell massacred this music.
Oh, really? It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
generic slop or what?
Whenever I have the chance, I'll show this to you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. And now the last thing I want to mention is music, because obviously Sonic music's very integral
Oh,
to Sonic. Yeah, whether it's the Genesis with the more fusion jazz style, the Avenger games where it was all rock. So the question is, what kind of music do we want to see? Do we want to see it more in line with typical RPGs from Persona, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, or Ys in this situation? Or do we want it to be more in line with what we expect for Sonic?
You know what I think you do? Because, like, I like, when it comes to, like, the 3D Sonic games anyways, I like the whole, like, what is it called? Crush 40? Is that
Crush
the
40,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, so I like the Crush 40 stuff. I like the Sonic Forces soundtrack. Like, man, that's banging. That's another game. Apparently, everybody hates Sonic Forces. Dude, I love that game.
We can have a conversation about that down the line, because I am the residential Sonic Forces hater.
Yeah, that kind of a soundtrack would be great, but I think what you do is you get the guys that did Xenoblade Chronicles X and get them to do it, because they've got that, like, that sense of, like, exploration and wonder, but they've also got some absolute bangers, like rock style, like heavy electric guitar, so, like, they can do it all, those guys.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think to add on to that, you also bring on Jun Suno to oversee the music, or someone like Otani to oversee this music and make sure that they're composing JRPG style music, but at the same time, it still feels like Sonic. In a sense.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, make sure everything's all shepherd when it comes down to the music, and just the RPG in general. Because at the end of the day, a Sonic RPG will be interesting, but we still wanted to make sure that it has the core identity of what makes Sonic Sonic in a sense.
Absolutely, and I think to circle back to the 2D or 3D, I think now, like, thinking about it, if it's gonna be like an actual, like, really good JRPG and stuff like that, I think you gotta go 3D, because the cutscene, like, how are you gonna do great, like, cutscenes, Sonic style, like, high intensity cutscenes and stuff in a 2D? It's not gonna look as good, you know what I mean? I think in 3D, I think you gotta go 3D.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, so that way everything just feels relatively stylish in a sense, and you feel that impact when there's shit going on at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the way to do it.
Alright, and I think that's all we have for today. That's all I wanted to discuss of this hypothetical Sonic RPG. Like I mentioned before, Izuka says they're not entirely sure if they're going to work on this just yet, but whenever they do, hopefully they watch this video and maybe they take some suggestions from this. And also, Dukey, on where they can find you on this world of YouTube.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube, just youtube.com/Dukey03. I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dukey03.
And I'll have all that linked down below, and also make sure you guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys think for a hypothetical Sonic RPG. Do you agree with us, or do you have your own ideas? And also, don't forget to leave this video a like and subscribe as well. And you want to see more videos, do check out these videos right here. I personally think you'll enjoy them. See you guys on the next one. Take care.